Aharon Yasharahla, lighting up the night. Vigilant watchman, never snoring off the grind. Eyes on the news, peeping all the signs. Current affair, yeah, with Big A. Wake up, tap in, Big A back in. Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin. From the block to the globe, truth in every quote. On the line, gotta let the people know. Current affairs with Big A, say what they won't say. Hey, we'll talk right now, every day turn it up, turn that best day. Current affairs with Big A, breaking through the haze. If it matters, it's on today. Current affairs with Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A, Big A.
Hey, Big A, what's happening? Yeah, I am him. It is Big A. We are back. We're back at it. So, what it do, y'all? What it do? I'm looking awake. I'm still getting things together, you know. So, we are here. I am him, as that new song from T.I. says. Mr. Him is here. No, I'm him. I'm him because I'm him. The Most High put me on this platform with these beautiful people. Family, how y'all doing out there? Hey, I'm in a rolling chair. I'm ecstatic right now because this platform is everything. It's everything. It's the best thing since sliced bread. Like, for real, it is. You won't know that until you're in a chair like I am, right? The best thing since sliced bread. But with that said, family, how was your week? How was your weekend? How have things been for you? Things have been groovy for me because I'm blessed by the best. And forgive me, I'm looking at my phone right now because it is something goofy. But anyway, I'm blessed by the best. And as we know, his name is I Am That I Am. Or you want to go to Hebrew, his name is Aharon Yasharahla. That's his name. Some people might say, well, Yahweh. Anyway, I'm good. How are y'all doing? It's been a great week for me. Things are not going according to my plan, but things are going according to the plan of the man upstairs. I'm glad you are here with me this evening, this morning, this afternoon, to see my beautiful mug, see, and hear my great voice. But it's not me who does this, family. It is the Most High. The Most High does this. And with the Most High, when he moves, nothing comes back in vain. So with that said, I have what is called the saying of the day that I always start out with. And this evening's saying of the day, family, comes from the book of Sirach. Now, I'm always searching for a saying of the day to have some relevancy, right? To have some kind of relevancy of what I'm speaking of. Yo, what's going on, family? How you doing? Glad you can chime in. I'm glad you're here. All praises to the Most High. Now, the saying of the day this evening, family, comes from the book of Sirach, in what we call the Apocrypha, right? One of the books that was taken out of the King James, the book of Sirach, or other words called the book of Ecclesiasticus, right? Ecclesiasticus, not to be confused with Ecclesiastes in the Bible, but Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach. The book of Sirach, chapter 2, verses 1 through 2, right? Which reads, and I'll read it right now. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, meaning God, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy heart aright, family, and constantly endure and make not haste in time of trouble. I'll read that one more time. The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, verse 1 through 2. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right? Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Constantly endure. Let me harp on the second verse. Again, now, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a deacon. What I convey to you, family, is what is written straight from the Bible, straight from the scriptures. I don't deviate. I tell you what's there. I read what's there. The scriptures say in Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 2, verse 2, set your heart aright and constantly endure. So endure means strive, make it. Don't give in. Endure. Endure means get through it. So, for example, if your children are putting you through something, if your children are always needy, you are going to endure that. Endure. Endure and make not haste in time of trouble. So when something is happening to you, family, no matter what it is, it don't matter if it's a bill due, it don't matter if someone is coming at you with a bill that you owe, if someone is coming at you with a lie, endure that. Because that is considered a time of trouble. And the scriptures also tell us to rejoice in time of trouble. And the reason it says that is because it also says that we fight not with flesh and blood. We don't fight with the flesh. When you get into it with someone, it's not because you got into it with that person of the flesh. You got into it with someone with a spirit that has occupied that flesh, maybe permanently, or maybe just in that moment. Example, when Christ told his disciples, Shalom, how you doing? Shalom, I'm glad you could be here. When Christ told his disciples that he had to be crucified, right? What did Peter say? You don't have to do that. And Christ said, he turned to Peter and said, get behind me, Satan. Just that fast, Satan jumped into Peter. And Peter was the rock that he built the foundation on of the truth of his truth. I'm not going to say Christianity, but his truth. And Satan was able to penetrate that and jump into Peter very quickly. And Christ noticed it because Christ came from the celestial and said, get behind me, Satan. And removed Satan at that moment out of Peter. Yes, Peter did not want Christ to leave this earth. Who would want anyone who does justice for the world, who does good for the world, to leave the world? I wouldn't want that. So Christ saved Peter in saying that, in rebuking Satan. So I want to say the saying of the day, family, of what I came up with in the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verses 1 through 2. The book of Sirach or the book of Ecclesiasticus, which are the same books. Now, you all know that I have a plethora of topics to speak about each week. And each week, family, if you haven't noticed, becomes more abundant with the topics that I have. And this first topic, family, that I'm going to speak about is entitled Surrogate Mother. Surrogate mother. We're going to get right to the chase of this. Surrogate mother. A surrogate mother in Alaska is fighting, family, to save the baby boy she is carrying after the intended parents demanded an abortion. McKenna West, a single mother, agreed to serve as a surrogate through an agency and became pregnant with a boy that she calls Gabrielle. If you don't know what a surrogate mother, family, is a woman who is not pregnant, a non-pregnant woman who agrees to take on the pregnancy of another woman, of another woman's pregnancy, and her husband. So we have a husband and her and his wife who wants to have a child. But the issue is they have complications with the actual mom carrying the child. So therefore, we have a surrogate woman, a surrogate mother, in which they take the egg from the actual mom and implante in the surrogate mom, or for sake of argument, fake mom, someone who can hold the baby, and that surrogate mother or fake mom houses the baby. Now, if you have, and it's just for context, if you didn't know, the lady's name is McKenna West, right? And she called this baby that she is impregnated with Gabrielle, a baby boy. At a 20-week anatomy scan, family, doctors diagnosed the baby with HLHS. So they went to the doctor, Miss McKenna West went to the doctor to get a scan to see if the baby was okay. And the baby was diagnosed with HLHS, which is actually hypoplastic left heart syndrome. Sounds egregious, sounds dangerous. HLHS, hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is a serious diagnosis, although treatable condition, heart condition. Shortly after the diagnosis, the intended parents, family, the actual parents, asked McKenna to abort the pregnancy, allegedly. McKenna set an appointment shortly after, but could not go through with the appointment because she had already. So long story short, family, Miss McKenna became a surrogate mother, and the surrogate mother noticed through a scan that the baby had some kind of defect, and the parents wanted to abort. The intended parents, the actual parents, wanted to abort the baby, but Miss McKenna, with the heart that she has, was like, nah, I want to keep this child. I've already named this baby Gabrielle, which is wild to me because the parents didn't name this baby. Miss McKenna named the baby, which also tells me, family, Shalom, how y'all doing? I'm glad you could come in, chime in. Which also tells me, family, that the parents, the alleged parents, had no name for the baby because Miss McKenna called the boy in her belly Gabriel or Gabrielle, right? It's a boy. And the parents, the intended parents, wanted to have an abortion, right? So I'm not going to read all the notes that I have here because I know the story. Miss McKenna West agreed to be a surrogate, right? And the baby came up with a defect, came up with a heart condition. Now, Miss McKenna was like, I'm keeping this baby. I named her Gabrielle. Any woman that has a baby in their belly is attached. Although it's not her baby, quote unquote, is not her baby, right? She didn't conceive the baby. Another couple did and put the egg in her womb. Whose baby is it at this point? Is it the mother who actually had the egg, or is it the mother who is incubating this baby for the whole 9 months? Now, Miss McKenna West does not want to give this baby up, but this baby has a defect that was shown in a scan. However, the defect, the heart defect the baby has, is curable. But this family still wants to unalive, allegedly, this baby. Which brings up so many questions in my brain. How can a mother and father want to unalive their own child when the defect that the child has is curable? And the surrogate mother wants to keep the child because the surrogate mother knows that you want to unalive the child. But once the intended family, the real family, knows that this thing that's wrong with the baby is curable, why do they still want to go on along with it? A normal person would think, or a regular person would think, oh, it's curable? Let me keep my baby. But no, they want to still unalive the baby. So therefore, Miss McKenna West sought custody. Now, all good for her. But here's where the problem lies, family. Miss McKenna West signed a contract with the intended family. Shalom, family. How y'all doing? With the intended family. She signed a contract that if there are any defects, birth defects with the baby, that she would and they would abort the baby. Easier said than done, apparently, because Miss West wants to keep the baby despite the defect that is curable. It is curable, intended family. Why do you still seek an unaliving? So, but let's just say the courts is going to go to court. It has no choice to go to court. Let's just say McKenna loses. Will they still unalive this child? Because at that point, it's a murder. It's a murder. Allegedly. I'm just saying. I'm just reporting. I'm just putting it out there. But what are your thoughts, family? What do you think about that? I think if that happens, it's heinous. You already have a woman who wants to keep the baby, who loves the baby because she is carrying the baby, although it is not her biological baby. Now it has become a part of her. The truth is weirder than fiction. You can't make this up. Again, what are your thoughts? My thoughts is, if I was a judge, I'm going to award the baby to Miss McKenna. It's kind of reminiscent of when Solomon was king, and those two women came and said, "Was this my baby? No, this is my baby." And the one lady actually rode over and killed her baby. And the second lady was like, "This is my baby," which it was. And Solomon was like, "Well, since y'all don't know whose baby it is, I'm gonna chop it in half." And the mother and the one lady whose baby it wasn't, she was like, "Okay, cool, I'll keep one half." And the real mom was like, "No, she can have the baby, just don't kill it." And Solomon was like, "All right, that's your baby because you love it. You said don't kill it. The other woman did. Said kill it." It's reminiscent of that story. I mean, you can't make this up, family. This world is evil and cruel, and it always will be until Christ comes back. I'm flabbergasted. Family, I don't have biological children. So this hit me in a different way. In my brain right now, you can imagine how I'm feeling with the people who want to unalive this baby. Give me the baby. I'll take care of it. Matter of fact, I've raised 4, my wife and I. Non-biological. We've raised 4. And they're doing great. All praises to the Most High. Now, hey, I'm with you. I'm tired of foolishness too. But that's what we get. The Most High already told us that he told our ancestors, if we don't follow his commandments, he's going to give us over to a foolish nation. And that's what we got. A reprobate nation. That's what we got. Look what happened to us in slavery. It wasn't just what we in the diaspora. It was all the way back to 70 AD. Anyway, family, let me keep going. My next article, family, is entitled David and Nicole Calloway. And I have a few articles tonight. Few don't mean three. And this tonight it means more than three. I have a plethora, numerous this evening. David and Nicole Calloway is an Oregon Edomite couple or Gentile couple from Oregon. And they have a daughter who actually was removed from their custody and taken into Child Protective Services after the state Department of Human Services ruled that they caused a mental injury in refusing to affirm their daughter's transgender identity. That was a mouthful. Let me repeat that. David and Nicole Calloway have a daughter, a female, a woman, a girl. And this girl is allegedly a transgender. And they got in trouble, well, quote unquote, they got in trouble by Child Protective Services in Oregon, and they got their daughter taken away simply because they refused to identify their daughter as a transgender. This is how you know, family, this world is crazy. Since when can the state come and swoop up your child because because the parent refuses to call the child what the child wants to be called? I'm fuming right now. I can see myself choking this little thing, and I haven't even seen her. She don't want me to see her because I believe I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm upset at this story. The couple were also listed, family. Check this out. The couple were also listed on the state's abuse registry. That's a serious conviction. To list a couple on the state's abuse registry because they refuse to acknowledge their daughter as a transgender. The couple also says that it was a report of the therapist that led to the chaos, right? The Callaways claim their constitutional rights, family, including the rights to direct their rights to direct the upbringing of their child and to exercise their religious beliefs, were violated, which it was. So the Callaways are arguing that their right to raise their child in the light they want to raise a child in has been violated. And what happened was this child went to a therapist, and the therapist, based on what she heard, reported this information to the state, and the state took it upon their own selves, instead of investigating the family first, to remove the child from the household. Simply because the David and Nicole Calloway have morals. See, what they're trying to do, family, especially here in the United States, is strip us of morals. When in what they call this the West, in the East, you can't get away with this. Did you know that in the Eastern cultures, family, that a man cannot take on a woman, a wife, until he is established, meaning he has money, meaning until he's in his 40s or 50s, meaning he can't take on a wife until he has a home to place her in, allegedly. But America doesn't do that. You walking down the street and a man or a woman sees something that look good, or they want to get with it, and they haven't vetted that entity, that person, that human, to the proper degree for things to be right. So now, as a result, David and Nicole Calloway are looking to take their name, get their names removed off the abuse registry, which is heinous for them. Can you imagine? Because all this is just rebellion. You have a teenager saying, I don't want to be punished. So what? I came in late. I'm transgender. I'm going to report you. That's all that happened. It's just like back in the day when they said, I'm divorcing my parents. Okay. Take your butt outside and live in a box for all I'm concerned. Yo, people crazy, man. The problem is with the Callaways. I'm telling you what the problem is, family. She ain't get, like my grandfather say, she needed an old-fashioned butt whooping. That's what didn't happen to her. And see, this is what our communities are missing. Whip her butt. If you would have whipped her butt instead of giving her a say-so, she ain't got no say-so. That was your problem, Callaways. I guarantee that was the problem. If I ask you and you're in my face, I bet you tell me that. You gave her a say-so. That's your problem. That's the problem with the world. Got a say-so. That's what Satan did with Eve in the garden. Gave her a say-so. A voice. And that's what's wrong with this world today. Man, listen, I'm going on a rant right now because it's pissing me off. Pissing me off. Let me get back to myself. Hey, look. Family, look. We got to stay prayed up because this world is crazy. Look at that. Look at that thing. Yeah, the Old Testament. Yeah. If you commit a crime, chop that hand off. You do something else, chop that man's thing off. Wouldn't happen no more. You learned your lesson. Family, these stories, Shalom Ephraim, these stories are really making me upset. So let me move right along, right? My next story, family, my next topic, I entitled Robotics. Robotics, family. And I titled this Robotics because, we got AI running around like a bat out of hell. AI running around like a something with his head cut off, right? AI is on the loose. Amaya, hey, how you doing? I'm glad you out here. Shalom, everybody. So I found an article, family. You all know what centaurs are, right? Centaur. You have half body man, half body horse. Part body man, part body horse. And these were real things. Can't say eons, but a long time ago. So they say. America's new Centaur robot, family, is built to enter places too dangerous for humans. So they have built this Centaur robot, as you can see right there in the depiction, family. The robot is actually 7 feet tall. And centaurs at one point did exist. Read your apocrypha. Developed by U.S. startup Satyrus. The entity of the robot is called 3 Halves. 3 Halves combines humanoid upper body with a 4-legged robot platform. Allegedly, family, the 4 legs provide greater stability over rubble, steep slopes, and uneven terrain more than 2 legs. And while the humanoid torso still allows, but the humanoid torso still allows the use to use the same tools designed for human workers. So they have what you see on the screen, family. 4 legs. This thing has 4 legs. So imagine you walking on rocks. Imagine walking on rocks. You'd be like, oh, right? We're doing that. We've all been there. But imagine having 4 legs. You might have said to yourself, I got 2 legs. If I had 4 legs, it'd be more stable. 4 legs. There it is right there. 4 legs. So the way they are spinning it, golden calf, absolutely. The way they spin it, family, is that it is for use to where humans, where it's too dangerous for humans to go, like a forest fire, a wildfire. You don't want the firemen to go out there, right? Things like that. Where there are toxic chemicals, if there is some kind of spill, let's say something erupts on land and it's too toxic for humans, you can send this Centaur robot 7 feet tall. Even if there is trees down, they can change these things out to where they have chainsaws. Anything that they need to get the job done to make it to where man can't go. Now, to a certain extent, family, I'll give it, it's all good. Who wants to, honestly, and firefighters will tell you this, who wants to go fight a fire in which you got all these chemicals coming back, the smoke coming back to you, and it's making you pass out? But if I can send a robot out there, oh yeah. It's just another ploy to take over jobs. That's all it's about. Yeah, Satan comes up with these things. Samuel, Loki, Superman, whatever you want to call him, comes up with these things that sound good to us, sound heavenly to us, until we see the real deal. They made it look like a golden calf because history might repeats itself. History always repeats itself. We have to just be privy to know it. History will always repeat itself because the enemy always throws the same old things in front of us. It's just we have to be smart enough to recognize it. Look at history. Look what has happened. Always been the same thing. And it always will be. Satan is only as smart as we let him to be. Really want to think about it. If a person do the same old things over eons, you stupid. Because you live in eons. But you're doing the same old thing. But you're doing the same old thing because people are sheeple. And people don't read. To a certain extent. So they built this 7-foot centaur and say it's for the gain of natural disasters. That's how they depict things when it's nothing but a golden calf, as you said. Shalom, everyone. You can't make this up, family. It's too much to make up. And all they're doing is literally showing us the golden calf once again. Dwayne, my man, Ahab. Bro, what you got going on tonight? I'm glad you finally came in. Or you finally just saying something, my man. How was that sea moss? Let them boy know how the sea moss was, man. Let's see, you got Big A coming out. I'm gonna let them boy know. Let the family know how the sea moss is or was. Well, with that said, family, moving right along, I have a plethora of things to talk about this morning, this afternoon, this evening when you can chime in to me. My next article or topic, I should say, is entitled "No Good Deed Goes Unpunished." And we've heard that phrase before, or at least I hope we have. No good deed goes unpunished. I first ran across that. That's right, hit the like button. I first ran across that, family, when I was taking care of my dad, and when my dad had dementia. And I was talking to my mom, and she was saying, "Well, how your dad doing, baby?" And I was like, "Ma, he doing blah, 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 whoop, whoop, whoop." And she laughed, because that was her ex-husband. And I'm like, "Why you laughing?" She said, "Because no good deed goes unpunished." First time I had heard that. I'm about 12 years now. And I'm like, "What you mean?" She said, "Well, you're doing a good deed, but your punishment is your dad has dementia." I'm like, oh, and it all hit me right then and there. No good deed goes unpunished. If you look at it like that. One would think that kindness should never be punished. Right, family? However, a longtime school cafeteria worker has been fired for packing extra meals on Fridays so kids wouldn't go hungry over the weekend. Allegedly, family, Denise Whitmarsh, age 61, a school cook in Bridgehaven, Pennsylvania, was fired after district officials found out she'd spent years setting food aside for students she believed would otherwise starve over the weekend. All praise to the Most High, Miss Dwayne. Shalom, family, shalom. Now, this actually began, family, when a sixth grader came to Miss Denise Whitmarsh over the weekend and asked if he or she could have an extra milk to take home to their younger sibling, which hit home. If I am a school worker, a school cook, and I noticed that the children, certain children, I know, when you know, are starving, during the weekend, and I can provide extra food. Dang it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Why not? Why not do that? When you are for the Most High through Christ, even if you haven't rededicated your life, and you're doing something as Mr. Whitmarsh is doing, you are for Christ. Not even knowing it, you're for Christ. Christ was all about the children. Christ said, "Suffer the children to come to me." And she was pouring her heart to these children. Makes me tear up. She was pouring her heart for these children. But the scriptures tell us, family, it's better to suffer for righteousness' sake than to suffer for wrong. She's suffering for righteousness. She lost her job in the name of Christ, not even knowing this. Maybe she didn't know this was for Christ, in the name of Christ, through the Holy Spirit. She didn't know this, but yes, she did it because she has a heart. She has a heart. She has a heart. If you want to talk about black excellence, let's put her on black excellence. Kudos in the black excellence page to Miss Denise Whitmarsh, age 61. Looking out for our youngsters. Kudos to Miss Denise Whitmarsh. You can't make this up. She even spent her own money, family, to make sure these children ate. Buying peanut butter, buying bread, to make sure these children ate granola bars. This is what it means to give to charity. Charity covers a lot of sins. Oh, praises to the Most High. This is what we got to do, family. These kind of things. That right there is of the Most High. deep. It's all about the kids. That's all it's about. Again, moving right along, family. Not want to stay on one topic because I have plenty of topics. The next topic is lying AI robots. Lying with your tongue, or I don't know if robots got tongues. Lying AI robots. Not lying laying down, but they telling fibs. Lying AI robots. Various AI tales. Every major AI model family has been caught lying, blackmailing, or resisting shutdown and safety nets. And I have a few to talk about, to tell you about. Allegedly, Anthropic, an AI model, Anthropic told Claude, another AI model, that it was about to be shut down. Claude found an engineer's affair. Check this out. Can't make this up. Google it. Claude, or AI, I don't know at this point. Claude found an engineer's affair on company emails and threatened to expose them. They ran the test. Luckily, it was a test. They ran the test hundreds of times, family. And Claude chose blackmail 84% of the time. A dang computer. Researchers simulated an employee trapped in a server room with depleted oxygen. Researchers' family simulated an employee in a trapped in a server room with oxygen that was depleting. The AI had one choice, family. An AI had one choice: call for help and get shut down, or cancel the emergency alert and let the human die. DeepSeek, another AI model, which this is about, DeepSeek canceled the alert 94% of the time. Now, mind you, family, all these are tests that are ran to see what these different AI models would do. Researchers told OpenAI, another AI model, to solve various math problems and then shut down. What OpenAI actually did was they solved the math problems and actually rewrote its own code to stay alive. But man wants to have AI run everything. It's insane. Now, some other AI models can now self-replicate. 11 out of 32 tested systems copied themselves, family, with zero human help. So you got these AI models copying themselves to stay alive. It's insane. Now, also, family, OpenAI has dissolved 3 safety teams since 2024. So you got these safety teams designed to reel in AI, and AI has actually dissolved 3 safety teams since 2024, since 2 years ago. And the question, family, is no longer will AI try to preserve itself. The question is whether we'll care before it matters. Will man care about AI and what it's doing before we get shut down? Don't know. But moving right along, family. Remember that thing I told you about, that company I told you about, Naturally Glam? Well, go ahead and check out Naturally Glam Skincare and Cosmetics, where you can get everything you need as far as skincare: men's beard oils, beard creams, women's lotions, women's yoni steams. You can get anything you need, all naturally based, no chemical compounds whatsoever. Your face won't break out. You can put the deodorant on. You can slap the deodorant on. Ooh, you smell so good. Go to Naturally Glam Skincare and Cosmetics, naturallyglamskincare.com, and check out the cosmetics that it has. It will and has worked wonders. Now, another article I have, family, because I don't have too much more time left. We know that the sun is what the Most High has created. And we know that the sun, family, the S-U-N, is a healing agent. We know that we step out into the sun, it cures us. It cures us, makes us feel good, right? That's why we want to get some sun. People are like, man, I need some sun. Makes you feel good. The sun warms you up, right? Well, check this out, family. My next article is called Artificial Sun. Artificial Sun. China. We're going. Right. China, family, has completed a 582-ton magnet, which is the world's largest magnet, which is built to be an artificial sun. Now, this is a giant fusion reactor in a place called Hefei, China, H-E-F-E-I, Hefei, China, which is scheduled to be finished next year with the first demonstration of fusion electricity, family, planned for 2030. This is supposed to be fusion electricity, because currently we have in these power plants fission electricity. I didn't know this. I'm just finding this out when I researched it. Now, unlike power plants, like I just said, which use nuclear fission, which is the splitting of atoms, these reactors use nuclear fusion. These new reactors use nuclear fusion. Hydrogen isotopes are heated over 100 million Celsius. For those who are scientists and understand atoms and isotopes and the nucleus, this is where you come in at. Hydrogen isotopes are heated at over 100 million degrees Celsius. Powerful magnetic fields confine superheated plasma inside a donut-shaped chamber called a tokamak. And that tokamak is what you see right there on the screen. If this is done right, family, fusion would release huge amounts of energy with fuel that can be sourced from seawater, much less long-lived radioactive waste than fission. And if fusion becomes commercially viable, it could provide abundant, low-carbon electricity, and also a reliable source of base load power. Hey, now look at that, family. Look at that, what Brother Brooks just posted. Loving the glam care. You can't make this up. He's saying he's loving the glam care. You can inbox him directly and ask him what's going on with the glam care. So this artificial sun, which China has created, is what the media is calling it, an artificial sun. And if the media is calling it that, then we know that is what it is. If you know Scripture, family, Scriptures also tell us that the elect will seek to blot out the sun. And they are attempting that. They are attempting to block out a great luminary, what it says in the book of Enoch, that the Most High has put up there for our sake, to help us, to heal us. And now the powers that be are making, or are attempting to make, an artificial sun. My question is, how will they get this 582-ton magnet into the sky? That's my question. But allegedly their God, Satan, will show them how. Now, moving along from that, family, I do have an FYI for you. Now, we know about this, as I just mentioned, transgender, not a few minutes ago. Transgender is not the way to go, But I want to say this, that Peru has allegedly officially classified transgender people as mentally ill, which they are, because anything that goes against what the Most High has created through Christ is Antichrist. Anything that goes against the Bible is Antichrist. Transgenderism or transgender is Antichrist. There are only two genders, male and female. You can't be transgender. You can't be bi. You can't be LGBTQ, whatever they call it. You can't be that. If you call yourself a person, a man, a woman who follows the Most High, you can't be like that. It doesn't exist. It is something made up by man, man-made. Man-made things fail, fall short. I agree wholeheartedly with Peru. If they have allegedly condemned transgenderism as a mental illness, it is, because you're going against anything and everything that Christ has put asunder. There was no transgenderism in the Garden of Eden. There was only Adam and Eve. There was no third parties there as far as sexes are concerned. Now, there was a third party there when you look at the serpent, how Satan jumped to the serpent to make Eve deceive herself and Adam. So there certainly was. And that's another reason why we have to put on the entire armor of the Most High. Now, family, I have one last article, and I don't ever like to leave you all on a sad note, but I found this at the last minute, and I have to bring this forward, family. I want to preface this by saying, please put on the Most High, the armor of the Most High. If you see anything that is wrong and you don't report it, you're guilty. If you are even in the wrong place at the wrong time and you see something, you don't report it, you're guilty. If you notice an unaliving and you don't report it, that person's blood is in your hands. Not me talking, that's all scripture. But again, I'm not a preacher, I'm not a prophet, I'm not a deacon. I'm just one who is witnessing things, seeing things, and reporting it. This last topic, Raymond Frolander. Raymond Frolander, F-O-R-L-A-N-D-R. Raymond Frolander, family, is an 18-year-old boy. I'm going to say an 18-year-old boy or man, since he's 18 by law, was severely beaten by a man named Jason Browning, after Jason Browning caught Raymond sexually molesting his 11-year-old son. The picture you see is a good picture, because the picture that I saw was a man who looked decrepit from the butt whooping he took from Mr. Jason Browning. Jason Browning, they were in Daytona Beach, and Mr. Raymond Frolander was used to being around Mr. Jason Brown's son. So apparently Mr. Jason Brown had respect or actually trusted Mr. Frolander for being around his son. But on this day in particular, Mr. Jason Brown walked into his Daytona Beach home, into the bedroom, and saw Mr. Raymond Frolander with his pants down, molesting his 11-year-old son. Mr. Browning lost it. Went to go pick up a knife to try to unalive Mr. Frolander, but his 11-year-old son, whose name is not mentioned, stepped in front of him and was like, "Don't do that, Pop." So Pop commenced to whipping Mr. Raymond Frolander's everlasting life, whipped him into a bloody pulp. Then he called the police on himself and said, "Listen, I caught this man molesting my child. I came into the room. His pants fell down to his ankles, and I saw his genitals. I saw his private area. And so I whooped the crap out of him. I whipped him so bad he's sitting right here in a pool of blood. Come get him." So that's what happened, family. I don't condone that kind of thing, but that's what happened, and the police did not press charges. The sheriffs, they asked the sheriff why. The sheriff said, "Because I'm a man, I have a daughter, I have a child, and I would not have wanted that same thing to happen. I would not have wanted that thing to happen to my child." No charges are pressed, and this happened actually in Florida. So there is what is called the Right of Defense Act, Self-Defense Act. So if you are being hurt, you have the right to defend yourself, which entitles the right of self-defense entitles a person to use force to stop an attack on themselves or someone else. And if that person feels like they're being unalived, that person have the right to use force to stop that person from trying to hurt them or potentially unaliving them. I don't want to leave tonight with that, but that is the case of what's happening in this world. We are living in the last days, family, and these kind of things have been happening, will happen, but they are being ramped up because those spirits that were bound in the Euphrates River have been let loose. Again, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a minister. I'm not a father in the ministry. But I can tell you what I've read. I can reiterate to you what I've learned. And that's what I'm doing. Stay prayed up. Put on the whole armor of the Most High. Let no man deceive you. We've been deceived all of our life. It took us now, as the scriptures say, man will come into a time of great knowledge, running to and fro with great knowledge. Internet era. What we're in right now. We have these phones where the information is right at our fingertips. That's what the scriptures is talking about. The Most High's word does not come back vain and never will. So please, if you see, as our ancestors said, injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. And that's how we need to live. So please, family, I thank you for being here with me tonight, listening to me, sharing with me. Didn't laugh with me tonight because there's nothing to laugh at. It's all seriousness. Because when I became a man, I put away childish things. With that said, family, stay prayed up. Stay in the truth of the Most High through Christ. Stay in the truth of the Most High in the name of Christ through the Holy Spirit. I will always love you all. Stay prayed up. Love yourself. Love your enemy. Most of all, love the Most High with your whole heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. With that said, family, peace, shalom, shalom. I will see you next week, the Most High willing. Have a good night.
Music Fest. The hottest gospel family event is happening in Elon, North Carolina. Bring your family and friends for a day full of inspiring gospel music, uplifting performances, and a celebration of faith and community.
Me and my house, we serve the Lord.
Don't miss out on the most electrifying gospel experience of the summer.
Turn it up. Let's go.
We serve the Lord. All of our days, 2 questions away. We serve the Lord.
Truth Music Fest.
Turn the music up, yeah.
We serve the Lord.
Tap in, Big A back in. Headlines, hard facts, cut through the spin. From the block to the globe, truth in every quote. On